Would you believe me if I told you that marijuana could combat the risk of cancer? Would you believe me if I told you that marijuana has generated $2.4 billion in Colorado alone? According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, more than 11 million young adults used marijuana in 2015. Statements like this can be shocking, but I'm here to tell you more details on why marijuana should be legal in all 50 states. First, I'm going to talk about what marijuana really is. It's a plant that's grown in the wild, or also can be grown dried under heating lamps by people. When dried under heating lamps, it's drying out the key ingredient into making you high, called THC. According to drug researchers Jonathan Calkins, Bo Kilmer, and Mark Kleiman, after THC has been heated and dried in the marijuana plant, it goes into the body and it works as neither a stimulant nor a depressant. Instead, marijuana focuses its attention on sensory experience, impairing short-term memory, enhancing reception to humor, and many other symptoms. But because marijuana is potentially harmless, people use it recreationally. But some depend on it medically when they need it for their health issues. According to Dr. Laura Martin, medical marijuana is grown to have less chemicals that cause the feeling of euphoria because it is used to treat symptoms rather than getting high for fun. Along with THC, another chemical, or otherwise known as cannabinoids, CBD may actually help health issues, but it doesn't get you high like the THC cannabinoid does. Many scientists are doing a lot of research on how marijuana can help the body. Some research is already showing that medical marijuana can cut down the amount of seizures in people with epilepsy. Even kids with epilepsy have been treated with medical marijuana that doesn't contain too much THC so that it won't really get them high, but they still feel the effects of the CBD, which helps them. Many states such as California and Colorado are saying yes to medical marijuana and seeing good results. The rest of the states should follow their lead with this. Now that you know a little bit more about marijuana and how it works, I want to talk about who's using marijuana. The NIDA, which I referenced to in the beginning, says that young people ages 18 to 25 used marijuana most in 2015. But less middle schoolers and high schoolers are using marijuana than ever before. But the number of people in middle school and high school think marijuana is less risky these days. Because these young people think this, they must be very educated on the plant, and they're just being careful because they're not using it, but they don't think it's dangerous. So next I want to talk about the money going into the industry, which could potentially help the national debt. I'll use Colorado for example. The Colorado Department of Revenue states that the medical and retail state sales is 2.9%, marijuana retail special sales tax is 10%, and the marijuana excise tax is 15%. In December 2016 alone, medical marijuana taxes received $914,000, while recreational marijuana generated $2.3 million, and that's just the 2.9% sales tax. You didn't think those numbers are shocking enough. The special sales tax, which is 10%, generated over $1.2 million to distribute among the counties in Colorado for local jurisdiction in December 2016 alone. The 15% of the total sales tax, special sales tax, is going to that. And then the other 85% of special sales tax is retained by the state for the counties, just for the counties. And in December 2016, it generated over $6.8 million. This is just 1 month in just one state. Colorado is also doing a cool thing by funding the public schools with this money from the taxes. For the fiscal year of 2015-2016, $40 million from the excise tax collections was given to the Colorado Department of Education's Building Excellent Schools Today program. According to Alan Pike, the Deputy Economic Policy Editor, marijuana is a stronger economic driver than 90% of the active industries in Colorado. If all states followed this lead, we could be squashing the national debt easily. Also, an analysis from the Marijuana Policy Group shows that legal weed created 15,000 full-time jobs and added about $2.4 billion to the state's economy in 2015. If you don't think these are reasons enough for marijuana to be legal, the time cops are wasting busting people with pot versus harder drugs is another point I want to point out in this. A journalist student in Colorado did an interview with a police officer in October of 2014 to discuss how legal marijuana has made a difference in his job. The police officer of 36 years, Tony Ryan, says that marijuana bustings are taking police officers off the streets for more serious crimes. He also says he constantly heard calls on the radio asking for a cop to respond, and they were too busy with a marijuana call to cover them. With that being said, minor risks with marijuana are present, but aren't there risks with everything in today's world? So I think marijuana could help more than it could ever hurt. Also, just for fun, I did a Twitter poll because I'm in the age group from 18 to 25, which is the most users for marijuana. I made this Twitter poll to see if more people my age, like my followers, are using marijuana and why they are. So in my poll, I said, why do you smoke weed if you do? I got 128 votes on it. 58% said it's fun to be high. 17% said it helps medically. 7% said because everyone else does it. And then the other 18% chose the other option, and I asked them to specify. So here's just a couple that specified on that other section of the poll. One person said it helps with their ADHD and it's a good alternative to Adderall. Another said it takes their mind off of issues in their life so they don't have to think too much about it. Another said it keeps them calm when needed and helps with anxiety and depression. If you want to read the poll, it might not even be interesting to you, but if you want to read the poll, my Twitter is at TIMMYYYD, Timmy D. So you can go look and see for yourself what everyone else is having to say about this. Thank you.